Hello world, this is Barbie Lee, this is Shake Talk, and good morning. This is where we change your breakfast to change your life. It's really quite simple. Isagenix is the product that we use. This is my Isagenix Isoline Chocolate Mint Shake. It is a health and well-being company coupled with network marketing. Change your breakfast, change your life. Super simple. So today's conversation is don't die dumb. I've had this conversation a few times, but it's come up again. Need to do it again because this is a really important one in life, you guys. I got a stat yesterday that said, don't quote me exactly on, something like 1 in 3 people will have a serious illness in their life. 1 in 2 people will have 1 in 3 people will have a serious accident in their life. 1 in 2 people will have a serious illness, and they might be reversed, I can't remember, but 1 in 1 people will die. So it's just kind of what happens, right? We're all going to die someday, and sometimes we don't know when. It's less common. I think I read a stat once, something about like 18% of Canadians die suddenly. Most are, given warning. There's old age or there's an illness, that kind of thing, but about 18% die suddenly. So this topic today is don't die dumb. Because A, you don't know when you're going to die, so that would make you dumb if you didn't plan for it. And I don't mean your funeral, okay? That's like one tiny little piece of it. So I actually have a online course that people can take. It's Canadian, like Alberta based, but you can tweak it for wherever you are. It's like $25. It's an online course, and you won't die dumb. I guarantee it. By the end of the course, you won't die dumb. So we all know we're going to die one day. And it's a topic that for some reason people don't like to have. I get it, right? Oh, it's my immortality or my mortality. I don't want to talk about something so sad. It upsets people. But guess what? Your death is going to truly upset people. So if you haven't prepared yourself or people around you for that inevitability, because I'm sorry, we're all going to die one day, and if you haven't prepped for it, the people you leave behind, your loved ones, the ones that are closest and nearest, dearest to your heart, if they have to clean up a mess, they don't get to grieve. If you just die and you don't have a will, you don't have, no one knows where your passwords are, or, no one has any clue what online accounts you have or anything like that, somebody has to clean up your mess. And that's what I mean by don't die dumb. Because you don't want someone to go, oh, for crying out loud, Barbie Lee. It's heart-wrenching to me when I hear stories of people that died, without a will. That's crazy. You could take a little scrap of paper like this, okay? I, Barbie Lee Hemmings, being of sound mind and body, leave Dwayne Hemmings to be my executor, get 2 people to sign it, and in most cases, 9.5 times out of 10, that would be sufficient, okay? Now, if you've got business holdings and all that kind of stuff, yeah, that might not fly, but in a real, the norm, like this, a typical, you got a house, a car, a couple of kids, a spouse, whatever. Even a spouse, you need to have a will, because here in Alberta, the spouse would even have to petition the court to be that person's executor. So if there was stuff that the spouse had to take care of, that the living spouse wasn't attached to, they couldn't touch it until they get permission from the courts to be an executor. It's one piece of paper for many of you. One piece of paper that says, I, Barbie Lee, I'm sound mind and body, I erase all other wills, and this is what I want. I want Dwayne to be my executor, get a couple of people to sign it, and put it someplace safe. Give a couple of copies to different people. All right, make sure you date it, of course. And give a couple of copies to different people. And if something suddenly happens to you, at least that piece is covered and they can take care of things for you. So, my mom and my grandmother both passed in one summer. And it was 2 years prior to that where I was sitting with my grandma one day, and I was like, Grandma, where's your will? And she got all up in arms. She got all crazy because I was just thinking. We were just sitting there, And she was like, Mom, what do you think I'm going to die? I'm like, no. I forget. She's 90, right? She was 90 when we did this. I'm like, Grandma, hold on. I'm like, you're 90. You're going to die one day. She goes, yeah, 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 yeah. Jesus, take me now, she says. And I said, and when you die, I said, it'd be nice to know where your will is. And she goes, well, and then she stopped. And I went, what? She goes, well, Uncle Pat knows where it is. Uncle Pat died 10 years ago. So we found her will, and then we updated it because my Uncle Pat was actually still her executor. Now, I did this for a selfish reason. Two, really. One is because most likely my mom, who was her oldest daughter, was going to be her executor. And Mom would be sad, so I'd have to probably pull a lot of the weight. So I wanted everything taken care of so that when my grandmother died, my family could just grieve for their mother and their grandmother and their great-grandmother and their Baba and all these other names that we had for this wonderful woman. And so we did. We put everything in a little folder. Mom had a copy, Uncle Brucey had a copy. And so when my grandma died, there wasn't really a lot to find or figure out because everything was there. We knew where her bank accounts were. We knew what, her magazine subscription we had to cancel, things like that. So my grandmother did not die down. Nobody said to my grandmother, oh, Angelica, because years old, didn't have a lot of stuff. Home, she had sold her house years prior. She got rid of all of her worldly possessions practically. She was just living in this little one place. So she didn't have a mess to clean up. My mom, who died 57 days later, also did the same thing with her. Now, my mom did her will when I was 11, right? And you're like, what? And we've been talking about death in my family since my mother was 11. And it's not that she was suicidal or anything. She just totally was going in for major surgery when I was 11 and said, if something happens, here's what's going to happen with you kids. And we're all going, I just thought this was normal surgery, But then after that, she had everything done because she was a single mom. Then every couple of years, we'd have what affectionately became our dot parties. And we would go over sometime around her birthday, and she'd invite us all over for dinner. And I'd get the blue dots or red dots or whatever, and we'd go around and we'd dot things in her house that we wanted because she was updating her will and she was making lists so that if she died, there'd be no arguing. And as we got older, we're like, Mom, we don't want your crap. So then she sold all her stuff. She moved into a senior's home. She only had her car and, a lot of debt. So when she died, everything was pretty okay, right? We didn't have too big of a mess, other than she used 3 different names on different things. So, but we had cleaned up all her stuff, and she had the blessing of knowing she was dying. She had 5 weeks in palliative care where, she canceled all her points card and she donated some to charity and she gave some to her sister. And so she had this blessing of still being cognitive and aware and, being able to clean up. But then I know of a friend, this was a couple of years ago, where her husband just died. Well, pardon me, her fiance, they went to get engaged on the beach in Mexico. She didn't know they were going to get engaged. He engaged 2 days later in Mexico. He dies of a heart attack. Well, now she's not his legal spouse. They're in a foreign country, and his will is still in his ex-wife's name. So guess who got the house they just purchased? It's crazy, crazy stuff. So don't die dumb. Take care of your stuff. And now is the best time to do it, okay? If you ever ask my girls, what happens in a fire? Get the binder, get out. That's what I taught them to say, right? And you're like, what? I have a binder. And you're all going to go, what? I do. Now, don't worry. It's called the Hemmings Family Rules, right? It's a good 2-inch binder. And in this binder, when I die, pretty much everything you need to know. Now, my social insurance number isn't here, and my birth date, and all my credit card numbers. Don't think I'm stupid. No. But what's in here is my, my will's in here, for one. Who to contact for my investments. I have a summary of my CRA and my accountant's name, who to call. I have, my Alberta Healthcare information, which is, and I have all my car insurance, life insurance, home insurance, all that kind of stuff, right? All right here. I have the bank that holds my mortgage and my property taxes, my investment account. I'm part of this a lifelong study. I've been a part of it, I think, since I don't know, 2203 or something like that. So it's like if I die, call them because I'm obviously dead. Don't, tell them to take me off their list, right? So I have that. What else do I have in here? I have, I have all our cell phone information. So bottom line is, if when I die, because I'm going to die, oh, crud. When I die, someone can take this binder and start on kind of page 1 and kind of figure things out. They don't have to think. They don't have to go looking for all my stuff, right? They know what bank I deal with, things like that. Again, don't get worried. I don't have a lot of personal information in here. Someone can't come and take my binder and steal my identity. You can pay my EPCOR if you want. That's pretty much all you'll be able to do with that. But this is what the course that I run is about. Don't die dumb. Take care of your stuff, right? Do it now. And I'm not saying sit down and take 40 hours to do something. I'm saying over the next 30 days, take time to start compiling your stuff. Every time you log into something, write it down. Oh yeah, I better write that down somewhere, right? I recommend having some sort of password container, meaning like, so having some sort of password login, or like I use LastPass, and making sure that somebody has the master password for that, right? So there's things you can do right now, like a little bit every day, right? When you log into something, note, oh yeah, I have a Facebook account, and and what if your Facebook account isn't in your name? How someone's supposed to deactivate your Facebook account, right? So I'm just saying, don't die dumb. You never know when it's going to happen. Here in Alberta, that one-page will that I talked about at the beginning is sufficient to be able to be the executor for somebody that just has, like a basic life. I'm talking if you have like business holdings and properties and joint ventures and things like that you have, then you probably require a like legal advice to help you make this will, right? But what I'm saying is, looking right at you, you're going to die one day. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now, I've already decided I'm going to be 123 when I die. I'm going to have a party. 1, 2, 3, go. And she went. And there's going to be bouncy castles and margarita machines and salsa music and dancing and Zumba and all kinds of stuff. Okay? Because it's going to be a celebration of my life. If the universe has other plans for me, and it might, I'm telling the universe what I want. I'm keeping myself healthy. I'm eating really good food. I'm exercising. I'm keeping my mind healthy. I'm reading. I'm continually educating myself so no degenerative diseases kick in or anything. I'm doing what I can. Sometimes the universe has different plans, right? And if that happens, I got a binder, right? I'm not going to die dumb. Now, I'm not saying I got it all together because I have a little sticky. Hold on a second. You know me and my stickies, right? I have a little sticky to remind me to put something in my will. I have the papers. I just haven't attached it to my will. The people know about it, right? It's one of my joint ventures. People know about it. I just want to put it in my will to make it more easily accessible, right? Because again, I am an amazing person, and when I die, there's going to be a lot of people really upset, mostly my family. And if my family has to clean up my mess, I don't want them to have to try and figure things out. I want them to be able to go, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. And I want them to go, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Barbie Lee. Thank you so much for putting this together so I could just grieve. Now, some people might say, well, there's going to be nobody left to grieve for me. Well, then go and get some friends. That's what I tell you. You know what? I've ran this course probably about 3. Well, I was doing it before. Did I do it before my mom died? I can't remember. At least 2 years I've been running this course. I made it online this winter when I was in Mexico, so people were asking me, hey, when are you coming home? So when I was in Mexico and I wasn't here to do it, when are you coming home to do the course? So I put an online version up. And so I've been doing it for 2 years, at least a dozen times. And there have been people that have come to my class and they've said, Barbie Lee, I don't have anybody to be my executor. Like, I don't have kids, or I'm not close with my family. And I said, then your first order of business is to find a friend. right? Well, if I just die, it'll just get taken care of. Yeah, but what happens is they go looking for your next of kin and they kind of pressure them. The government will pressure them to clean up your mess. Because I had a friend who has an estranged sister had. They were living in Calgary. He was living here. And he was pressured to clean up her stuff, and he did. He didn't know he could say no. People can say no, but, when a family member's die, there's that sense of obligation. So don't just be selfish. And I'm going to tell you, if you're thinking, well, I'm just going to die anyways, like, who cares who cleans it up? That's probably why you don't have someone to clean it up, because you don't care. I know. So I'm going to post the link in my Facebook Live here. You can go to barbieleehemmings.com, and there's a link on there. And here's the thing. We're all going to die. We don't know when. Someone is going to hurt. Someone is going to hurt. Someone is going to be happy that you're finally out of their lives. Someone is going to grieve for you for a very long time. Some will see your post on Facebook or somebody post on Facebook and go, oh, I knew her or I knew him. And feel a moment of sadness, but then forget. Someone is going to go, oh my God, they were too young to die. They were so whatever. And then they're going to take a look at their own life. You are going to be an example to somebody. You guaranteed 100%. It's going to be a what to do or a what not to do in your life. So I'm challenging you to leave the what to do. Leave a legacy of what to do. So if you create your own binder, right? Like I said, ours is called the Hemming. Whoops, where is it? Is it backwards? Yeah, Hemmings Family Rules, right? That's our binder. I challenge you to create your own binder. You can leave it online if you want, but just don't put any, sensitive information that, somebody could get. You can put the last, 3 or 4 digits of your credit card, or the last 3 digits of your social insurance number, things like that. But guarantees you're going to die. And wouldn't it be great if when you died, someone went, wow, I want to do that. I want to make sure that I have something like this when I die, so that my people left behind, whoever I leave behind, can totally take care, take care of things and be okay with that. So, don't die down. It is way more than a will, people. If you think just having a will is enough, it's not. The will is actually the easy part. It's cleaning up the mess you left behind that takes time and energy for people. Just let them grieve. Okay? Make good choices.